Welcome to the Oasis Agroittica Lombarda. Here time stands still, as if by magic, the same magic that has made it possible for a virtual fossil from prehistoric times to survive. That is the king of fish, His Royal Highness the sturgeon. Throughout history, man has considered the sturgeon a fish of great value, both for its exquisite flesh and for its delicious eggs, from which, via a simple salting procedure, the legendary caviar is obtained. The extraordinary characteristics of sturgeon have also led to indiscriminate fishing, which, together with the increasing deterioration of rivers and seas, has seriously compromised its survival. For this reason, since 1998, the UN has included the sturgeon among the species requiring protection, severely limiting sturgeon fishing. Agroittica Lombarda had already started its ambitious project to breed sturgeon in 1981 in the abundant springs in the Brescia district, collaborating in a scientific and technical project with the Davis University in California. For this project, they chose the white sturgeon, which is justly famous for its very white flesh. These magnificent specimens adapted amazingly well to the semi-natural conditions of the Agroittica Lombarda farms, which started to reproduce the species in captivity in 1996. So young sturgeon, naturalized Italians at that point, started to be born in the clear waters that feed the ponds of Agroittica, and today, after years of repopulation, that of Agroittica Lombarda constitutes one of the most important sturgeon populations in the world, a true reserve for a seriously endangered species. The weaning of this species is rather difficult, as the white sturgeon fry is very delicate and requires perfectly controlled water temperature, light and food, therefore they are protected in covered heated tanks. Sturgeon love gravel, currents and clean water, and so Agroittica Lombarda decided to breed them accordingly. We are certain that the well-being of the fish must be a prime condition if we want to ensure the continued availability of this exceptional product that tradition has handed down to us. A crucial factor to guarantee the best quality fish lies in a careful choice of food. Foods formulated by the main industries in the sector with certification ensuring the absence of GM raw materials. Being in a position to check the purity of the water, which coming from underground sources is neither polluted nor cloudy, as well as the quality of the food, and having at the same time assured reproduction, means that we can always guarantee the consumer a top quality product. It takes many years, from a minimum of 5 to a maximum of 7, for our white sturgeon to reach the market size of 10 kilograms. This quite slow growth, similar to natural growth in the wild, furthermore guarantees firm flesh with a low fat content, less than 3%, and a high level of protein, 18%. To make our sturgeons really top quality, they spend a few days fasting in special tanks with clear well water before they are processed. Making a good quality and healthy product is however not enough. It is our duty to guarantee the consumer that our products are obtained from a process that is sustainable for the environment, not least because it is from the environment that our business draws its vital nourishment. That is why the industrial philosophy we have chosen follows the most difficult way, that of finding a stable balance with the environment. A large area of our fish farms is in fact dedicated not to production, but to the destruction of all food residues, and it is therefore the fusion between nature and the well-being of the fish that is the key to our success. Our sturgeon fillets are prepared in a structure which strictly complies with health and hygiene standards. The fillets are carefully cleaned and they are then vacuum packed for perfect preservation. In this way, we obtain a perfect product from the nutritional point of view, which, thanks to the lack of bones, the sturgeon in fact has a skeleton of cartilage, is particularly suitable as a food for children. The sturgeon is also sold in slices, ice-packed in polystyrene boxes, a product which is easy and versatile to prepare. In this plant, other fish are also processed such as salmon, trout, swordfish, tuna and eel. The salmon arrives exclusively fresh from Norway and from Scotland. All the products destined for smoking are dry salted, which is done strictly by hand. And they are left in a refrigerated cell for a whole night. The following morning, they are rinsed and placed on special trolleys that are subsequently positioned inside ovens, following smoking programs and times which differ according to the type of fish being processed. Salmon is sold whole or pre-sliced, vacuum packed or in slices in packs of various weights. Norwegian salmon and Scottish salmon differ in that they are processed using different systems of preparation, smoking and cutting. Norwegian salmon is sliced obliquely, while Scottish salmon is cut horizontally. The sliced salmon is automatically placed on the cardboard packaging and is immediately vacuum packed, reducing handling of the product in order to reach high standards of hygiene. As regards the swordfish, we pay particular attention to selecting the raw material, which must be strictly sashimi, caught and frozen on board ship. The product is then sliced into pieces of a suitable size and smoked using a long manufacturing process, which results in a product of very high quality and of a particularly delicate flavour. All our fresh products are on the market the morning after shipping, guaranteeing the absolute integrity of the product. Short distance deliveries are carried out with our own refrigerated trucks, while for all other destinations, the company utilizes specialized couriers. Our fish processing follows the strictest quality criteria, starting from the selection of the suppliers right through to the final check carried out on the end product. All the stages during manufacturing are monitored using the application of the HACCP system, the analysis of critical checkpoints, the checking of the application of good processing practices, and the registration of every parameter of the process. All this makes it possible to trace every stage of the productive process. All the products undergo microbiological and chemical analyses carried out by the internal laboratory, which identifies the standards of hygiene and quality of every batch of production. Our self-controlling system is constantly monitored by the local veterinary service, which also certifies all the documents related to the quality control. Agroittica, the undisputed world farmed caviar leader, with a steady production of more than 24 tons, has been extracting for many years its precious roes exclusively from sturgeons bred at its own fish farm. The company has been able to gain an international reputation for its professionalism and its high-tech facilities. Our natural soil drainage system enables us to produce an avant-garde fish culture and fill our ponds with abundant and totally unpolluted amounts of groundwater. Over the decades, Agroittica has developed a deep know-how and fully understands sturgeon. The company tends and cares for every single female sturgeon individually. Their reproductive cycle starts when they are at least 10 years old. Each and every fish is microchip marked to register from time to time all key information. This consists of weight evolution, pond origin, type of feed, etc., in order to ensure full traceability during its life cycle. But one of the most distinctive factors between Agroittica's caviar and that of its competitors is the extraction theatre, i.e. the area where sturgeons are operated in semi-sterile environment. Upon extraction, the roe sac passes into a unique avant-garde structure, a real operating theatre. With the company's advanced computer application software, we are able to calculate the caviar's batch number, the identity of the single fish, the processing day, in other words, the traceability to the fullest extent. Our long harvest season from October to April gives us an extraordinary caviar flexibility without the need to heavy salting. In this way, we are proud to offer a real malossel, as our recipe exercises a low volume of salt in stark contrast to wild caviar, which, being extracted only for short times during each year, needs to be preserved through a more intense salting process. In terms of quality, natural flavour, taste and authenticity, there is, consequently, simply no comparison to our farmed caviar variety. Our product is packed into the traditional original tins or into modified atmosphere boxes in order to preserve its sensorial qualities. The caviar is finally kept in our cold store. Finally, our caviar is repacked to order in a pressurized environment, virtually sealed and isolated from outside, and where the air is continuously filtered to prevent any bacterial contamination. These being the jewels of our collection, Calvisius first ever produced Italian caviar and extracted from the white sturgeon. From the initial production in 1992, its outstanding characteristics have constantly been an oversized, creamy and somehow crunchy grain. Agroittica has now enlarged its production portfolio with a host of trademarks. The original, standing for the Siberian sturgeon caviar, Caviar de Venise, and Casanova, being the caviar from the crossbreed between Baeri and Naccari sturgeons. The Italian caviar label is dedicated to the Ossietra quality, this being an elite product, universally known by the real connoisseurs and bon vivants worldwide. Not long ago, talking about an Italian caviar,
seemed a contradictory term. Today, however, Agroittica excels and is established at a world level. This is due in large measure to its products' freshness and delicacy of flavour. All our products are prepared within the rich context of the traditional Italian cuisine, whose ingredients lead to nothing but to the most natural taste. We have simply added a few artisanal skills, passion, environmental respect, and a subtle pinch of madness. It is indeed this unique combination to have further enriched the Italian culinary art, with our small contribution of an additional pearl from Calvisano.
At the end of this brief journey through the production of Agroittica Lombarda, we would like to underline how this company, undoubtedly the most important Italian aquaculture company, continues to reinforce its leadership thanks to the perfect combination of technology and knowledge of the craft. Between the ancient rhythms dictated by the seasons and technological innovations in the search for quality, characteristics not rare in our country, that place us in a leading position in the high-end sector of the food range specialities.